I am currently pursuing MCA from James Raisoni College of Engineering, Bangoli, and I have completed my graduation in BCX from Adarsh College, Bangoli with distinction. My today's topic is .NET. Before going into the further details of what .NET actually is, I will discuss how .NET is developed. Means the .NET has gone through three different phases of its development. Those three phases are the first one is that is OLE. The second one is COM. The last one that we are using is .NET. So the OLE stands for Object Linking and Embedding. That was developed by Microsoft in the year 1990. It was developed for the inter-process communication. The main advantage of using this OLE is that it allows the applications to embed documents that are stored in one application to be used in another, and it also enables one application to use the or manipulate the objects that are stored in another application. It simply means that a user using Windows Office package, suppose he can use the table of Excel and store it in the Microsoft Word. This is a simple example. The second is COM. While using this, when the program size get bigger and the logic gets complex, the OLE model was not of that much use. So the Microsoft in the year 1995 has introduced the second model, that is COM. In this model, the program is divided into simple components, and each component is developed separately and then integrated to form the main model. The COM stands for Component Object Model. Then the .NET. In the late 90s, this model was developed. In the COM model, we were using the component logic, but in the .NET, we are using the intermediate language. Means we can switch among the languages using this pattern. This is all about the development of .NET. Then I will now discuss about how the .NET execution differs from the pre-.NET execution and how it is profitable to us. So I will first give the example of a simple VB execution. In a VB execution, suppose we are developing one application using VB6. Then there is compiler of VB6. Here we are using the VB6 language, and this is the compiler of the VB6. When this language gets compiled into assembly, it generates a machine code. That is, we also call it as a native code. That native code is nothing but the form of zeros and ones. So which we know that the computer, that is the operating system, just understands the language of zeros and ones. It doesn't understand VB or C++, that is the higher languages. So the requirement of converting this VB language into assembly is that we have to convert our logic that should be understood to the operating system. That's why we are using this. But what happens here, when this VB code is converted into assembly, this assembly is nothing but the machine code or the native code. This native code means it is just suitable for this operating system. Means suppose it is a Windows operating system, then this native code is not applicable to any other operating system. That is, suppose we have switched this application from this system to any other system that is using Linux, then it will not work there. That's why the concept of .NET has introduced. So now I will discuss about how the .NET programs are executed. First of all, the .NET gives us the flexibility to use multiple languages. That is C#, C#, C++, JScript, and VB. These are the book common languages that are used in a .NET framework. There are certain 25 languages that we can implement using the .NET framework. Then okay. .NET framework, we are using the multiple languages like C Sharp, C++, JavaScript, and others. This is the flexibility for the program. When these languages are implemented using the .NET application, it gives us the flexibility. This language, as in the previous means the pre.NET format, the compiler just converts. Suppose we are using a baby compiler, then it just compiles it into assembly. That is the native language, and it was not applicable on any other system if you are switching. But here, when this code from any of this language is compiled, then it generates the assembly. But that assembly is not the native code or machine code. Instead, it is the IL, that is intermediate language. Then this intermediate language is converted into the form that is understood by the machine by the CLR. That stands for Common Language Runtime. It is the heart and soul of the .NET framework. Means the major functionality of the .NET that it supports multiple languages is totally dependent on this, the CLR. What happens in the CLR? It takes the input, the assembly that is IL, that is using the JIT, that is just-in-time compiler, that it converts into the native code that is usable for the underlying OS. This is the this small structure supports the portability of the application. Means suppose we have used a C++ language and developed some application on a Windows platform, and we want to switch that application on a Linux platform, then we can do so because this IL will then again be converted by the CLR into the code that will be native to the Linux platform. So that gives the platform independence. The second advantage of using the .NET framework is garbage collection. Garbage collection simply means that suppose we as a programmer are using a customer class, and we have created an instance of that class. Then definitely that instance will require some memory. Then after using that instance, its working is finished. We have to remove that object from the memory so that this memory is free for the next use. But many of the times the programmer forget to do this, and then after some time we face the errors of overloading of the memory or compile time errors. But .NET does this garbage collection on its own, so the programmer doesn't need to worry about this. The points to be remembered in all this architecture is that it is a two-step process. In the first step process, this compiler converts any of this language source code into the intermediate language. That is also called as MSIL, that is Microsoft Intermediate Language. CIL, that stands for Common Intermediate Language, or it is also called as managed code. Why it is called as managed code?